again, it's Jennifer with Watercolor Girlfriend, and I hope you saw what was going on in that first little bit where I was working with some masking fluid. I'm sorry I didn't introduce like the bottle into the video, but if you've seen some of my other ones, I like to either use a Q-tip or a brush with this. I'm leaning now more towards a Q-tip because I can reuse it a number of times, but then, you know, it doesn't ruin my brushes. And honestly, once it dries on the Q-tip, you can still use it. Just dip it in and place it around if it's not something that's incredibly precise, you know, like if you're doing a intricate portrait, realistic, that kind of thing. But, you know, give it a try with a Q-tip, and I think you'll find it easy and quick and simple. Okay, so we're going to incorporate the masking fluid, and again, I'm sorry that you're not going to see that placement in the video. I did it before I put down any paint. I also didn't really do a lot of sketching. I was just wanted to do something simple and straightforward, get right into the painting. So you're going to see us create this today. Probably more like this instead. And you're going to see how fun it can be. And there is no masking fluid or frisket down here, only up here. So you can see the dots where I placed it kind of just randomly. I just wanted to like place it up in the top, just wherever it would go. No big deal. I just wanted to place it where it would land, kind of. And then after it dried, I just painted the landscape that I wanted to, not really concerning myself too much where the masking fluid was, and, you know, letting it dry and then removing it. And then I add a little more paint over that. So we'll talk you through it, and it's probably about a 20-minute video, so I hope it inspires you to, you know, try an easy, fun landscape, a little different than some of the landscapes maybe I've done in the past. And then again, bringing out the masking fluid for some fun, and it'll give you sort of a, you know, a crisp white area that you can cover with paint later so that it gives a couple of different layers, or you can leave it white. We've done both in this video, in this painting, so give it a try. We'll see you over there. As we just get right into it, like I said, I didn't really do any sketching. I just wanted to go for it. And I'm starting off with one color green. I did mix a little bit to add in a little bit of brown, maybe a little bit of yellow. And I'm just kind of, you know, using tiny little brush strokes. Something different, a little different technique for you to give a try to, try out, try. So, you know, there's other videos on my channel that you can check out to do landscapes. I also enjoy doing cityscapes, which if you haven't tried can also be fun. It's a totally different sort of feel, you know, and I incorporate a lot of ink work into my cityscapes. You could give that a try if you haven't done anything like that before. And you can go around town and do that, or go in your backyard if you can see some other buildings from there. If you haven't tried it before and it makes you a little nervous, you know, do it from your front yard. You could do it from the car. Plenty of people will, you know, find something interesting, go downtown. Maybe you have an older town with some interesting buildings and you can go park in your car and do some painting. Just bring a travel kit with you. You could do that with regular you know, just landscapes as well. And, you know, sorry, and, you know, try the pen and ink that goes along with that to give a different feel. And I have some other videos on that on my channel that you could check out. And you can find me on Instagram as well. I'm guessing a lot of you are over there looking at other artists, so we could connect over there and we can share what each other is doing. what comment on things, right? And ask me any questions that you have about the paintings or the supplies that I use. And I like to try other things, but I also like to work within a budget. So often I will, buy things at big box stores, order things. I don't often go specifically to high-end art supplies. I do plenty of that as well, but it doesn't have to be like that. You can explore lots of different things on a budget. So I'm filling in here with a different color green, right? I added a little brighter green, some sap green, and adding a little more dimension. So as I add that on top of the darker, it will start to come forward and it gives it a richer feel. But you can see how on the top there, where the lighter, darker gray, it kind of starts to go into the background. So it'll give you some different layers and give you some perspective when you work in that fashion. It'll keep things from looking too flat. And it's just going along, filling in the spaces until I find that I like the look. I don't really have anything in my mind set out first before I head out or before I even start this kind of painting. I just kind of look and see what kind of colors are out there. You can either work live in an open field if you so happen to have one, or in a backyard or at a park, or you can work from photos online, or photos you've taken when you're on a vacation, or photos just when you're, that you've captured when you've been at a friend's house and you liked the landscape in the background. Sky's the limit on where you can get ideas for your paintings. So I feel I've got enough different layers of green in there. I'm going to head on over to work in the middle. So I'm going to mix up some orange there with some of the color that I've already kind of got on my palette. But I like the nice bright orange. It gives you a nice, I'm calling this one Arizona Sunset. So you see as I build up the color there in the middle, we're going to incorporate a little bit more of that. And some of this area, I do have some of the Frisket, or you can see those little dots there, or masking fluid. Not a lot, but I was okay with wherever the mood took me. And heading into some yellow. And I think I'm going to let you enjoy the painting, listen to a little music, maybe paint along with me. Okay, so now you can see I'm filling in some of the blues in the sky, and this is where a lot of the masking fluid is located. You can really see where that is resisting the paint. I don't know, it's kind of like a rubber cement, so it kind of just repels any sort of moisture. So you can paint right over it. It's a cool type of media. Dry it up a little bit so I can move right on and paint a little more over that sky area. And I want to give it some layers and develop more richness in the sky. I just love this blue. So I want to, you know, incorporate it, give it some different tones. And I'll be working a little more of the purple and just make it colorful. You know, the sky is so pretty at night when there's a nice sunset. And you really want to accentuate that. And I really enjoy working with a lot of colors that are even straight out of the tube. There's no reason you always have to mix, unless, you know, you like another color like we did with some of the greens and stuff. But yeah, I'm just gonna let you enjoy the rest here. Alright, so it's all pretty dry. We want to make sure that the paint is dry before you go in and remove the frisket. I'm sorry, I always say the old-timey word, the masking fluid. Otherwise, it'll start to gunk together with the paint and make that area get all muddy and goopy. And, you know, I mean, you can certainly repair it and make it look like, yeah, I meant to do that. But it can be very nice to start off with a dry paint. Okay, so it makes a lot of little bits. You know, you remember rubber cement. It's a little different. I should really look into what makes it special. And you want to take your time. Make sure you get all the bits and clear everything away. But, you know, you don't want to move too quick, although you can use some of the bits kind of to take away the other masking fluid, and kind of really need to rub pretty hard on there to get that off sometimes. But it shouldn't, if you leave it on for a shorter time, you know, the duration of doing your painting, it shouldn't tear or pill your paper. This paper isn't even that thick. It's like a 90-pound, probably not anything less than that, but it's kind of a thin weight, and it worked just fine. It came off just easily. You can see there's no tearing or didn't make any holes, anything like that. So take the time that you need to get it all off there. Almost done. I used a lot. Sometimes I just want to see what it looks like as well. Almost. Okay. So now I want to actually add more blue so that it kind of fills in some of those areas and gives it an interesting detail to the sky where maybe you're not expecting it. Maybe it can mimic clouds or just give you the sense of depth and different textures and colors that are in a sky and in a landscape. So I've got some mountains in the back a little bit, and I just left the I just left where the masking fluid was. I liked the interesting texture that it created. I didn't care that it was mountains. You know, I just thought it was interesting. And then I put the purple over that. So add a little bit more yellow there to brighten up that section, and put it over some of the Frisket masking fluid as well. And some of that gets filled in a little bit more than it did in the sky area, which is fine. It was really just fun to give both of those media and the textures a try. So I hope this inspired you, and I hope you'll give these couple of things a try as well with your paintings. You can see we created this fun landscape in maybe 20 minutes. And you know, remove all the tape. And I have been using that blue tape for a long time, but I do enjoy the green tape now that I've explored. I think you can see through it a little more too, so when you line it up on your paper, it's easier. And this was causing a little bit of tear. It wasn't hard to, it was hard to see sometimes, but I think it's easier with the green one if you want to try that. And you always want to sign it, and this one I even titled Arizona Sunset. And sign it, take some pictures of it, maybe put it on a digital frame if you have one in your living room or kitchen. Okay, thanks for joining me. Again, I hope you enjoyed that. And again, I always say I hope it inspired you to try some new techniques with your watercolor, but with landscapes. It doesn't always have to be the same way that you made it the last time. And maybe as you start to try different things, you can start incorporating the little areas that you like in each painting to create your own style. And I did want to bring out one of my paint chips that I made. I make these. You know, a lot of people do. Just in my sketchbook. This is one of them. And I wanted to let you know that the blue is phthalo blue. And I have a couple of different brands. But, you know, I think they're just a lovely blue. They make a sky nice. They make water really pretty. They mix well with a green to give you a blue-green. It's one of my favorite blues to work with. Do you have a favorite blue? I would love to hear about it, because blue is a favorite color of mine in paintings, and I'd love to explore some others. Okay, thanks for joining me. Happy painting.